My name is Alma Casillas, and the case that I decided to present on is the Wei Hun Lee versus Johnson and Johnson versus San Francisco Unified School District. So, background on the case. So, San Francisco Unified School District had various schools for its vast variety of minorities that were located in San Francisco. So that included Asians, like Chinese, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So they had different schools for all these different minority groups. And after Brown versus the Board of Education, they had to desegregate these schools, which should have been completely accepted or fully like, okay, yes, this is like gonna happen, but the Chinese American community were very against this. They were actually very happy with having segregated schools, for it allowed them to retain their Chinese language and culture within their children. So the Chinese American community took this case to court in 1971, in which it ended up being appealed to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in a very daunting process against San Francisco Unified School District, in which they had felt that it was very necessary to keep the schools how they were, and that there was no need for change. For they were protesting this greatly because they felt it was difficult enough as it was for a newcomer Chinese ESL student to come to America and learn English. But learning English in a Chinese school, it made it easier because they were still able to learn and retain their Chinese language and use what they knew about grammar and language, and they were able to use it as a crutch in learning English. And if they didn't have that crutch, it was going to make learning English so much more harder for them. As it is, sometimes when there's words, I'm not an English second language learner, but I do speak multiple languages. So there's times where I can think of a word in one language, but I can't think of it in English. And I know if I was in their situation, it would help me if I was with people who also knew the language I spoke. So I can be like, oh, hey, like, what's the word? Oh, that fruit. Oh, es una manzana. How do you say that in English? If I had somebody to translate that for me, I feel like I would have, if I was in their situation, I would have been successful. And if they didn't have the Chinese American schools, they weren't going to have that support probably. So in the end, the court ruled against the Chinese American community in 1974, simply because of Brown versus the Board of Education. For while there was a lot of minority schools before Brown versus the Board of Education, due to the results and outcome of that case, the courts felt like they didn't have any other choice but to side with the school district and against the Chinese American community, in which the school district had to desegregate their schools. And it's something that's been like that since 1974 in San Francisco Unified School District. So for the past 46 years, it's been like that. And it's probably something that's not going to change anytime soon or at all. So the Chinese American community had to make do with what the court decided, and they couldn't have their segregated schools anymore because it went against the Constitution. at that point because of cases like Brown versus the Board of Education, which are important cases, and they are cases and results that needed to be done, and they were a long time coming. But the Chinese American community didn't feel like that. They felt like it was something against them. It was like a strike against them because it was something that wasn't going to help them at all, which they're not a hurting community 100%, but it is something that did hurt them, in which they felt that they couldn't be 100% successful in learning English because of this. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I know I made some mistakes. I'm so sorry about that. And I just wanted to say thank you in the couple of different languages that I speak. So thank you in English, gracias in Español, shashani in Chinese, shukran lakum in Arabic, arigato in Japanese, 감사합니다 in Korean, and obrigado in Portuguese. I don't know if I said that already, but yeah, obrigado in Portuguese. Thank you.